Is everyone okay? Welcome back to all content we could see in Super Smash Bros. And today's focus series is Fatal Fury and King of Fighters. And this is going to be an interesting episode because the series is already confirmed for Smash Bros. We haven't had this since the original pilot episode with Persona all the way back at the beginning of the year. So because of that, we've got less speculation to work with than normal, as we already have confirmation on some aspects like the character and stages. Okay, let's not waste any time and take a look at the legendary wolf himself, hungry for a chance to sink his fists into another fighting series, Terry Bogard. Terry is essentially Mr. SNK, and gets used in almost all their crossover series, and so because of that we have a lot to work with, but Terry's core moves have been the same since his debut, and so these are the ones that will get a special focus. Terry's design harkens more to King of Fighters Maximum Impact and King of Fighters 12 rather than Fatal Fury, but that doesn't necessarily affect his actual attacks. Now, we already have two confirmed moves for Terry. First is Power Wave, a projectile attack that is likely his standard special. It works similar to the Hadouken but travels across the ground so players can't duck under it. Next is the Burn Knuckle, which is probably his side special. Terry blasts forwards with a punch, and he does it from a standstill, so it's probably not a dash attack. And to add to this, the flash the attack makes is similar to what Ryu and Ken have when they perform a command input, instead of pressing the special button, implying Terry has a similar mechanic, as if there was any doubt though. So what about the other moves, and how about a gimmick? Terry doesn't need a gimmick, but King of Fighters does have one he can use, the EX meter. Fatal Fury's gimmick is the dual lane system, which wouldn't work in Smash Bros, but the EX meter from King of Fighters would, and it would kind of work like Cloud's Limit Break, but without a button to charge it. It would only fill by dishing out damage, successfully blocking attacks, and taking damage. Once one of its 3 stocks are full, Terry can unleash the strongest version of one of his specials, stronger than doing the special command input even. The version of Burn Knuckle we see Terry use is actually his EX version, so maybe that's already a hint that the system is indeed in place. It's either that or the EX version is what is done after a command input. We just don't know at this point.
Hey, come on!
Okay, let's move on to the other specials. For his up special, it'd be boring to just have another Shoryuken style uppercut. Luckily for us then, that Terry does have a rising aerial move that would be perfect, even if it looks a bit derpy. Terry's rising tackle has him flip upside down and do a corkscrew spin upwards. It could work like Wario's up special, sucking nearby fighters in before kicking them away at the end of the animation. It'd also make for a good anti-air. Then for the down special we have Power Geyser. Terry punches the ground much like his standard special, but this time a massive blast of power shoots up in front of him. A good close-up attack that could even destroy projectiles. The EX version of this could use the 3 Geyser version of this attack for extra reach. As for Terry's final smash, he's going to make sure you're okay with a Buster Wolf. Shouting the infamous line, Terry will dash forward with his fist, and anyone hit by it will fall into a brief auto combo of punches and kicks just to extend it a little, before Terry pulls out the Buster Wolf and sends his opponents flying off screen. Are you going to be okay? And for anyone curious about Crack Shoot, it'll be his forward smash. It just works well for that. Now onto the ults. As a fighting game protagonist, Terry already comes with a number of canon ult costumes he can use. Red is the default, and then next we have a blue variant that is his typical second ult. Following that we have a dark green ult from King of Fighters 98 which comes with black jeans, and then followed up by a completely black ult as seen in Fatal Fury Wild Ambition. Now, we all want to see his Garo Mark of the Wolves Daddy Terry ult, and I think Sakurai will deliver. However, it will come with a slight compromise. I'm pretty sure Terry's hat will be used for animations and taunts in his victory screen, so he will need to keep it. And luckily for us, King of Fighters 14 actually gave us a Terry that fits that description. A long sleeve jacket Terry with a hat that says Hungry Wolf on it. So Terry's other 4 ults will be based around this. The first is a brown one from Garo Mark of the Wolves, complete with a fluffy inside. Next will be a dark red variant, which is from King of Fighters 14. Then he has a green variant for this look, but this one is a slightly lighter, leafier green than Ult 3. And finally we have a yellow ult, which comes with light blue jeans. So that does it for Terry, and man, despite having actual information on him in Smash Bros. To work with, I feel like this has been the longest character breakdown so far in the series. It's good that we can now move on to the stage, and this should be much simpler, as we have it confirmed as well. the King of Fighters Stadium. Now, this design is actually a Smash Bros. Original, but it does take some inspiration from the few times the King of Fighters Stadium has actually appeared in the main series. The stage appears in King of Fighters 96, 12, and 14. However, its design in Smash seems to be mostly based on the appearance in 12, just lacking the carnival in the background. The stage looks like a walk-off with a slightly elevated main section. A very simple stage at first glance, but if we are to assume that this is an amalgamation of all the arenas, then perhaps we can see the scaffolding for the lighting from King of Fighters 14 be used as makeshift platforms. They can appear on either side of the stage, with a moving one at the top making the stage kind of a square in shape. As for a hazard, well, King of Fighters 14 also offers pillars of flame underneath said scaffolding, so perhaps that could alight from time to time. It won't be too complicated a level, but it needs to be more than just a flat. So far, every DLC stage has had cameos in the background, and this one looks to be no exception, as we got Art of Fighting's Ryo making a guest appearance behind the arena watching the fight happen. But who else could appear? Well, I think we might have actually had that answered with the Terry reveal trailer. It's our belief that occasionally appearing in the background, along with Ryo, we will see Kyo Kusanagi, star of King of Fighters, Joe Higashi and Andy Bogard, Terry's two partners and the other protagonists of Fatal Fury, Geese Howard, the main villain of Fatal Fury, Nakaruru, the heroine of Samurai Showdown and one of its most popular fighters, and Iori Yagami, the main rival of King of Fighters. These 6 all appeared alongside Ryo in the reveal trailer, but alongside them I think we could also see cameos from Mai Shiranui and Athena Asamiya, two popular female fighters from Fatal Fury and King of Fighters respectively. While many want to see Rock Howard appear, I don't think he will, as he has never made a playable appearance in King of Fighters and seems like he never will, and as this stage is entirely King of Fighters focused, he would be an odd one out. The same goes for Haomaru from Samurai Showdown. So how about that music then? Well, once again, we actually have something confirmed here, and that is a new arrangement of Terry Bogard's theme from Fatal Fury 2 and Special, the Kuri Kinton flavor. This arrangement was heard during Terry's reveal in the Nintendo Direct, which I can't play for copyright reasons, but I'll link to the exact time in the Direct below so you can go and give it a listen after this video. What other songs might we hear? Well, the reveal trailer might have given us a few hints already, but let's add our own thoughts and you guys can give them all a listen. Alright, so now on to Classic Mode. For this I wanted to focus specifically on King of Fighters 95. Yes, not a Fatal Fury game at all, but instead one that's important to Super Smash Bros. And Sakurai. It was Sakurai's experience playing King of Fighters 95 that actually inspired him to work on his own fighting game, and what led us to where we are today with the Super Smash Bros. Series. A link to Sakurai reminiscing is in the description below. Focusing on King of Fighters also allows for a more interesting route. Fatal Fury's gimmick wouldn't work in Smash Bros, and so if we followed that, Terry's route would be similar to Ryu and Ken's, 1v1 stamina matches on Final Destinations. But King of Fighters is a 3 vs 3 game. That's one of its gimmicks. And Smash can have 6 people fighting at once in a team battle, so let's do it. Obviously the exact tag team gimmick can't be used in Smash, and the player is just restricted to using Terry, but it's the thought that counts. So before we begin, Terry is going to need a partner, 2 to be specific. In King of Fighters this is Andy Bogard and Joe Higashi, so we need stand-ins for them. So I went with Ken for Andy and Lucario for Joe. I originally thought Ryu for Joe, but for reasons later I decided to make it Lucario, as they both kind of have a martial artist motif to them. So let's go, round 1, fight! And in the first match we have Team Hero with Mario as Kyo, the main characters, Pikachu as Benimaru, the electric specialist, and Donkey Kong as Goro, the grappler. The stage will be 4-side to represent the Japan stage, a big cityscape. Now on to round 2, and we have Team Woman Fighters, with Zero Suit Samus leading the charge in place of King, a kick-centered lady who was originally thought to be a man in her first game. Then we have Sheik in place of Mai, the Kunoichi fighter, and lastly Kirby in place of Yuri, a copycat fighter with lots of borrowed moves. The stage is Tomodachi Life, as the England stage is the inside of a building. Round 3 takes us to Team Art of Fighting, where Ryu finally gets used in the place of Ryo. I think this one is pretty obvious why. And then we have Falco for Robert Garcia, a fiery smartmouth with a rebellious attitude, and Captain Falcon over Takuma, the muscle-bound fighter who settles things with his explosive fists. The stage is Suzuka Castle, taking the place of the Mexico stage. Yes, I know it looks nothing like Mexico, but it's a Japanese-style dojo, and yeah, I don't know why it was in Mexico either. It's time for round 4 and Team Psycho Soldier. Leading this trio is Zelda as Athena, the all-magical girl, followed by Ness as Sai, the young psychic boy, and watching over them both is Mewtwo as Chin, the all-powerful psychic master. The stage is Gua Plains, whose valleys invoke the feelings given by the China stage. Round 5 comes into formation with Team Ikari Warriors, and leading them is Wolf as Haiden, the eye-patch wearing pack leader. His team consists of Snake as Ralph and King K. Rool as Clark, 2 military men with close combat prowess. The level is Gerudo Valley, taking the place of the Brazil stage. Now the penultimate round, round 6, and here we have Luigi as Iori, the counter to Mario's Kyo, followed by Greninja as Eiji, the ninja master, and finally Shulk as Billy, the Brit with a long reach. The stage fort here is Midgar, taking the place of the factories from the USA stage. Now that does it for all the King of Fighters references. Sorry Korea Justice Team, there just wasn't enough space for you. Even though we still have one more round, the boss fight. And it is for this sole fight we have to go back to Fatal Fury, because only one man can live as Terry's eternal enemy, Geese Howard, played here by Ganondorf. He has fought on Final Destination, and upon his defeat, Master Hand will spawn for one final trial as Ganondorf falls to his doom. So, whew, that's a long Classic Mode explanation, and we are still not done with all the Fatal Fury and King of Fighters content we could see in Smash, as now we have the Spirit Battles to go over. So we obviously get a Terry Bogard Fighter Spirit, and regardless of whether he does get a Garou outfit or not, I think this will be his only Spirit. As for the rest, let's work our way through these Spirit Battles in rank order from lowest to highest. And first, we have a battle against Andy Bogard, played here by a White Ken. This fight takes place on Omega Al Delfino and is a stamina battle, where Ken will prioritise his standard special over other attacks. Andy is a support spirit with the effect of neutral special up when applied. Following Andy, we of course have Joe Higashi, played by a pink Lucario on the Omega version of Suzaku Castle. This is also a stamina battle, but this time with the wind effect in play. Another support spirit with the effect of aura attack up. Now our first primary spirit in Kyo Kusanagi. played by, again, Black Mario. He is a defense type spirit and is fought on the battlefield version of the King of Fighters Stadium. The bottom floor is made of lava and the battle itself is another stamina match. He offers the effect of fire and explosion attack up. Moving on, we have Kyo's rival Iori Yagami, played once again by an orange Luigi. This fight takes place on the regular King of Fighters Stadium and is another stamina battle. Woo, there'll be a few more of them to come. When Luigi gets down 2/3 of his health, he gets a boost to all of his stats, thanks to the blood pack. Iori is a primary spirit, this time of the grab variety, with the effect of critical health stats increase. The final advanced primary spirit goes to Ryo Sakazaki, who is an attack type with the simple effect of increased physical attack. He's played by an orange Ryu in Stamina Battle on Jungle Japes Omega and will randomly activate his final smash throughout the fight. Back to the supports, we have Nakaruru, who will allow you to start with a beetle item. Nakaruru is played by a white Rosalina and Luma, and the stage is Congo Falls. This fight is also a stamina battle, but when Rosalina hits half health, a second Rosalina, this time purple, spawns. This represents Rera. You have to fight both of them at the same time. Another female support with everyone's favourite Mai Shiranui, who will give your projectiles increased power. Played by a red Sheik on the Kalos Pokemon League, specifically the Fire variant, there is less gravity on this stage, making everything floaty, and items related around fire like the Fire Flower and Fire Bar will spawn. Now, onto the Ace Spirits, and our final support spirit in Athena Asamiya. She is played by a blue Zelda and has a blue Ness accompanying her. Both of them are fought on the stage on it, but when Athena gets defeated, a powerful Palutena will spawn, and must be defeated to win. Her support gives you perfect shield reflection. Next, the penultimate spirits. We have the Ikari Warriors. The trio of Haydn, Ralph and Clark is a single spirit. They are a neutral primary spirit played by Wolf, Snake and King K. Rool respectively. This takes place on Mushroomy Kingdom and is an all-out, no-holding-back brawl. Their special effect offers you the chance of a double final smash. Now, the legendary spirit. And who better a fit than Geese Howard? Geese is played by a red Ganondorf and is a primary attack spirit. The stage is 4-side and you need to defeat Geese to win. However, he will be assisted by another fighter throughout. First is a Bayonetta, who is Hua-Jay, then an Incineroar, who is Raiden, and finally Shulk, who is Billy. But that's not all. If Ganondorf gets defeated, then he respawns in his Dark Skin ult, and is much more powerful. This represents Nightmare Geese, who is also a spirit that Geese can transform into, offering a faster final smash meter. Nightmare Ganondorf must be defeated to win this legendary final bout. And that does it for all the spirit battles. Most of these are characters who appear in the background of the King of Fighters Stadium, with a couple of exceptions. Now all that leaves are the Mii Fighter costumes, and we have 4 possible suggestions. First is Nakaruru as a Mii gunner, where her gun is her hawk. Her vast popularity and unique design makes this likely in our opinion. If they wanted to continue focusing on samurai spirits, we could also see Haomaru as a Mii sword fighter, although this might clash with the existing Takamaru costume. Another possibility is Athena Asamiya from Psycho Soldier, which would give the players a sailor uniform to allow for multiple characters, although if it's the red one, it would be the wrong colour. Lastly, I wanted to include the popular Rock Howard somewhere here, so as a Mii Brawler costume he goes. And that does it for everything Fatal Fury and King of Fighters that we could potentially see in Smash. We don't have very long until Terry is released, about a month or so away, and we can then match up what we actually get with our video and see how accurate we were. Hopefully it's pretty high. Remember guys, if you like our content then please do share it with all of your friends and post it everywhere across the internet. And if you want to go that extra mile, there's always our Patreon which you can support, a link to which is in the description below, and then you can appear on screen like all these lovely folks right now. Remember to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and always remember to return to the source.